started. Hello and welcome to our Return to Moira review. Lord of the Rings Return to Moira, which is the complete name of the game. We have just finished the game, and let's start on this. The first thing, as always, is attempting objective reviews, which is going to be really hard this time because the game isn't actually complete. A lot of the problems, such as loading zones, are things that have been directly addressed, and as of this day, which is March 10th of 2025, are being worked on. So there's some poor optimization, bugs when it comes to teleporting, and so can the game be described as perfectly smooth? No, but that's not entirely the game's fault. It's still being worked on.
Yeah.
At the very minimum, the game mostly functions as intended and runs smoothly for its current state at the time being. The multiplayer is also being improved. They've just got a dedicated server started up. So, yeah. Whether or not the control scheme makes any sense, well, it uses WASD, left click to attack, right click to block, scroll wheel to go through items, 1 through 8, and then also 0, skipping 9, which is a bit weird. Control is dodge, which isn't the weirdest thing in the world. V being quick build, F also being quick build, and B being build, and X being quick deconstruct are just hotkeys. You can move them around if you need to, but that's a lot of buttons, guys. I mean, use the entire keyboard, but at the same time, you don't need to use the entire keyboard.
Yeah.
The menus, for the most part, are very easy to use. Just go through the menus, find what you need, right?
Yeah. Until they bug out.
Huh?
Until the menus bug out.
Until the menus bug out. In my case, I had 2 tips that literally didn't exist and the game wanted to stop telling me about, which was annoying. Now, there is a caveat here for the rest of this explanation. And that caveat is we were playing on the wrong difficulty, which makes the entire game a horribly designed, disastrous mess. But it's also not our fault. You would assume that normal difficulty, considering you start games in offline mode, would be the criteria for playing by yourself. It's the criteria for playing with a group of a minimum of 4, which is what's deemed a small company. 1 to 2 players is considered solo, 3 to 5 players is considered a small company, and 6 to 8 players is considered a large company. We were playing on the difficulty for a small company and didn't know because it just says normal. Which is the dumbest thing in the world. It should say difficulty small company. And then also show that means 4 players. Because if the difficulty doesn't scale based off the number of players, but rather scales off of a number you select before getting in, you should have asked me how many people I was playing with beforehand.
Or have the player count on the difficulty big text thing.
Right.
Like normal, 3 to 4.
As such, the game was horribly unbalanced. Our characters were constantly complaining about our weapons. Our armor seemed to do literally nothing. But that's because we were expected to have 3 more teammates backing us up. Getting back onto the list, the next thing is the story. And oh my gosh, Lord of the Rings is a world-building juggernaut of a story. And I've never read Lord of the Rings. I've absorbed most of what I know through pop culture and osmosis, and I can just state, holy that story was great, and I had fun playing it. The story part was at least amazing. Talking to Eric, hearing the story, seeing the dragon. Whoa, the dragon. The Watcher popping out of the water, which scared the ever-living out of both of us.
Yeah.
If I had to state something that didn't work, however, and I'm just reminded of this thanks to the Watcher fight, The build menu makes no damn sense. There's a list of things you can build at hearths, and then there's a list of things you can build without a hearth. And it makes no sense which is which, because when am I ever going to use stairs and scaffolding if not outside my base trying to get up to something? Why do I need a hearth to build scaffolding? Like, the one place I'm gonna build scaffolding is not in my fucking base.
Yeah, scaffolding, the most temporary known structure.
Why does it need a hearth? But yeah, the story, which was the original point, is really good. Though, the fact that I got kicked out of a cutscene because I started despairing because it's the middle of the night was probably one of the stupidest things in the world. I mean, it was just the credits, but whatever. That's still stupid.
Yeah.
The world was beautiful. Every location we went to, I was in awe of the appearance of the game. It was a gorgeous world. The next thing on the list is subjective opinion of sound design. And I have to state, lower the fucking pickaxe noise. Or at least give me the ability to remove it. The pickaxes are so loud. And they don't... Ping, ping, ping. Oh, how much did I complain about that throughout the entire series. And then when you reach the final boss, and you got those loud-ass chains... on the entire fight.
You're so loud, Discord muted you.
I don't think Discord picked me up, to be completely honest. That wasn't exactly a loud noise I was making. But, yeah. All in all, if you play the game on the intended difficulty, which we did at the very end on the final stream when it was finally pointed out to me that I was playing on the wrong fucking difficulty, and I asked Mellon to cheat and give me endgame armor. To which you can't even make all of the armor in campaign mode. You actually can only make some of it in sandbox, which is stupid.
Yeah.
But with endgame armor that we basically cheated in to go and fight the dragon, the game became a lot more fun. The correct difficulty, with the correct gear, with proper gear, made the game a whole lot more fun. Because up until that point, the game basically feels like its progression system is set backwards. In Minecraft, you go, you get wood, you take the wood, you can go get stone, you take the stone, you go and get iron, you get iron armor, iron gear, and then you go and find diamonds, you get diamond gear, you go and find netherite, and you get netherite gear. And every single step of the way, you're wearing the best possible gear for the area. You don't go, unless you're a speedrunner, of course, but it's like, you want diamond, if you get iron armor and you get diamond armor, you can go, or even either armor, you can go and get the stuff for netherite. You can just walk through with just iron armor, you can beat the game. But in Terraria, you're not going, you go, you find lead, you find tin, or iron, or whatever, you build better armors, and then you go to the next zone. You build the stuff required to fight in the next zone, and even if you are underpowered, you're so slightly underpowered that it doesn't matter. Because you always go into the area with enough stuff to survive in that area, with plants, with gear, with items, with dirt, with blocks, whatever. Moira's progression system is flat out backwards. You go into an area underprepared. You can never be prepared for the area. You gather the gear to be good enough for that area. And by the time you do, you've already caused 4 hordes, 37 camps, and whatever. You've already killed everything. And then you finally have the gear for that area. What?
Yeah.
How many times do we hear, I need a better weapon?
Matter of fact, I heard it while we were doing the dragon fight.
You heard it while fighting the fucking dragon? Oh my gosh.
To be fair, I had my Durin axe equipped and I was fighting an orc. It was doing 6 damage.
Okay, that's that's a different thing. You hit him with your Durin's axe.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, until I got the Dragon Spear, it was just insufferable to fight enemies. And the enchantment system, so many of those enchantments are useless. Like, oh, this one causes you to slow down enemies when you hit them with a full charge attack, but your attacks also do frost damage. But they don't, unless you hit them with a charge attack, which makes it useless.
Yeah.
Like, so many of the upgrades are just completely useless until you're in one specific scenario. The Ironwood the Ironwood enchantment being the biggest like, it is so worthless.
Which is
But
why
it's
they
also
then
damnably
later
necessary. But it's like, you can't put that on your pick. You have to put it on a weapon. So you have to make a weapon completely useless by giving it an enchantment that allows you to mine trees.
which is then they later on in the development cycle went, that's a stupid decision, and you can just make ironwood.
Use it by combining 20 wood scrap and 20 metal scraps. The materials you have way too much of. And on that note, I'm going to continue to mock the pallet system. Because I tested this, the pallets are so ineffective that the basic chest holds more wood than the wood pallet does. What's the point of the pallets? If the pallets are supposed to hold stuff in an efficient, easy to organize, and quick dump manner, and that allows you to rapidly pick things up as well, then why are they worse as a storage system than just building 40 fucking chests?
Yeah.
Also, the number of foods, the importance of food in that game, and then the difficulty they made it to even prepare foods. Like, almost every breakfast contains an ingredient you cannot self-produce. And that is one of the biggest things about the survival crafting genre, is at some point you can always achieve self-sufficiency. And you never can in Moira.
Yeah. You can't farm eggs.
You can't farm eggs, you can't farm honey, you couldn't farm cranberries, but they changed that. You can't farm grab apples. And you almost need at least one of those items for breakfast, which is pretty much the only time of day you ever eat.
Yeah.
But, yeah. All in all, when you play on the correct difficulty, it's not a bad game. But it is poorly balanced, and some things just aren't thought through to completion. But again, the game's in active development. That's going to be all from me. Mellon, do you have anything you want to add?
No, I enjoyed it. There was the combat system, which became a lot better on after we changed the difficulty.
Right. On regards to the combat system,
Oh.
remove the stupid target lock for charge attacks.
Yeah. Or at least make it obvious where it's going.
Because the worst thing about charge attacks is the number of times where I've spun 90 degrees, 180 degrees, and flew in the wrong direction to hit an enemy I didn't care about. Or worse, a rat.
When to hit the grunt when you're targeting the war boss.
When you aim to destroy the spawner and you fly 70 meters to your right to hit the single spider.
Yeah.
Also, would have been great to know earlier that we could have repaired, all of those Durin lamps.
I don't even think we could at the time. We had to be farther in.
I remember testing it and we couldn't, but it's so not obvious about which ones you can and can't repair.
Yeah.
Especially
Or
with the
we
amount
got
of
one that was
shadow that's
bugged.
just blocking you the entire time. You're not given sunstones or adamant until like the final two areas, but you're given 50 freaking shadow wells.
Yeah.
Man, apparently I had a lot more to say. I just didn't remember it.
Yeah. And fix the wyvern hitbox
Oh
and
yeah,
the fell beast.
the fell beast telegraphs and hitboxes were incredibly janky. Also, there was the
Yeah.
invisible orc bug.
Yeah. I think
The
that was just a
invisible
case
troll
that I
fight.
had.
That was stupid.
Yeah. I don't think I had loaded that area because as soon as I loaded that area, I saw him. Which begs to
Yeah.
differ. Why is the troll locked to
Why
a
is the
room when
troll
he
allowed
can?
to exit the area that it's not even loaded in?
Yeah. Though we have sent that footage to the developers, and they went,
Yes, we have
"Huh,
reported that as a bug, and I think we did come across a couple of other bugs like mapstone teleport glitches and a couple of other things.
yeah, where you couldn't go left in the menu, you only had to go right."
The time I could have go left in the menu, the time you teleported to the opposite end of the mines, that was weird.
I I've gotten that one so many times where I've
Happened to me
gone to I
once.
want to go to a map stone, and it goes, nah, here you'll spawn here in this location of the same area of the map stone, but not at the map stone.
Not even in the same area. What he's referring to is the Elven Quarters is a 9x9 grid. Our mapstone is in the basically left middle box, and he spawned in the top right box.
You know? Yeah. In my own world, I have one at the bridge, the final bridge, right there. I would teleport there, and I'd get shoved at to where you have to climb up to go up to there
Oh,
at the
another
top of the
thing is
stairs.
completing mission objectives beforehand prevents you from ever completing them. We accidentally fixed the library before we discovered that we need to go to the library, and as such, we can't complete the mission for the library in that world.
Yeah, or
But
it
yeah,
bugged down and yeah, didn't complete because I'm pretty sure we went. I think we went there and we had a horde there, and it may have interrupted it, but it still continued, and we got the bonus. I think that's what
no. For the
happened.
library, we just did the library immediately.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we found the library first, and then we found the
We also
gate.
found Durin's axe before we could even come across the camp, because Durin's axe was literally in our path before the camp that told us to go find Durin's axe.
Yeah, because we
There
were
was a
tired
lot
of
of
dealing with the
small
orcs.
things. Hmm?
Because we were tired of dealing with the orcs.
But yeah, there was a lot of small things. I'm going to call this here because if we keep complaining, we're going to go on for another 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Bye.
More.